Hey, I'm Madison Brown, agent here at 321 Naomi, and today I get to interview my husband, Michael. He is a CPA at JB Accounting and Tax. We asked agents to submit questions that they had about taxes and whether it's for their business or for their clients. And I just wanted to ask you some of those questions. I'm running my business and I've got expenses, but I don't know what can I write off regularly on my business. What are the most common write-offs that you would see as a real estate agent?
That's a great question. It's something we run into all the time. What can I deduct, right? The general rule is you can deduct anything that's an ordinary and necessary business expense. So I always give the example of a delivery driver. Yes, you need a vehicle to deliver whatever, right? You need a vehicle to go and make those deliveries, but you don't need a Lamborghini. So if you're trying to deduct a whole Lamborghini for this, just small delivery operation you have, it might get limited a little bit. But you still get a deduction because it's still necessary to have a vehicle. In real estate, there's a lot of necessary expenses. You do a lot of marketing and advertising. You want people to know who you are.
Yeah.
So any of those kind of expenses that have a business purpose, those are ones you can deduct. You're going to have some business mileage. You're going to be using your phone a lot. All of those things are deductible. You'll have maybe some gifting or advertising. What are some things you've seen?
What I think of is, what can I deduct in my home if I'm working from home?
Great question. There's two different ways you can go about that, and it's the same way with a few different deductions. We can either take the business portion of actual costs, or we can take a simplified approach. You have to have a dedicated home office or a dedicated space, whether it's for storage or for doing work in that area. It can't be mixed use. You can't use it personally and business. It has to be.
I can't use my dining room table.
Right. Okay. Dining room table, that wouldn't work. But if you have a spare bedroom that you have an office set up in and you only use it for work, we could take the square footage of that area and just multiply that by $5 per square foot. So if it's a 10 by 10 room, that's 100 square feet, $5, that's $500 of deductions. Or we can do the actual approach where you have to calculate first your business use area. You said that's 100 square feet, and you figure out what percentage that is of your total space. If you have an 1,800 square foot home, you take 100 square feet as business use, you get that percentage and multiply that by all of your costs.
And this is where you want an accountant.
You don't like the math?
I will calculate the square footage for my clients, but I don't want to calculate the square footage of my office and the tax deduction for me. That's why I got him.
Yeah, we usually don't do that unless you're using a large portion of your home. Right, so if you've got 30% of your home or more that's business use, then you might take that approach. Otherwise, just stick with the simplified method.